No whiteboard. President Friedman, Ms. Baer, members of the College Board, faculty members, proud parents, spouses, family members, and graduating students. Commencement speakers frequently start off with a list like this, and I've often wondered about it. Why mention all those people and groups? I've been to a lot of graduations, and the best answer I can come up with is that that's the list of people who probably won't pay any attention to the commencement address. As I noted, I've been to a lot of these things as a student, a parent, a faculty member, and I've heard a lot of addresses. And I can honestly don't say that I don't remember any of them. But it's okay for the audience to ignore me this evening, because I'm not going to talk to them. I would like the graduates to pay attention, however, because I will be talking to you. Commencement speakers are usually famous people or distinguished alumni or politicians. They tell the graduates how wonderful they are, that they're embarking on the great adventure of life, and they have the potential to do great things and change the world. Maybe. I'm not famous or a distinguished alumnus or a politician. What I am is a faculty member, at least for another month. So I'm going to speak to you as a faculty member and say the things that many faculty everywhere have wanted to say as we've sat through all those commencement addresses. And if I'm a professor, you're supposed to listen to me because you're students. Until the president formally pronounces you to be graduates and you move your tassels to the other side, you're still technically students. So as a faculty member, I get one more crack at you. In a few minutes, when the president does confer your degrees and certificates, he'll say something about your having the rights and privileges of having received a college degree or certificate. I've never heard a president say what those rights and privileges actually are. I'm not sure anybody knows. Probably someone made the phrase up once and it sounded good, and the presidents have used it ever since. To help out, I'm going to give you my list of your rights and privileges. But first, a little context. I'm sure you're all feeling pretty good about yourselves right now. You have the right to feel good. You're the center of attention. You made it. You worked hard and showed perseverance. The faculty has certified that you fulfilled all the academic requirements. You're getting a college degree or diploma or certificate. Everybody's congratulating you. Your relatives and friends are here, including the ones who thought you'd never make it. And you know who they are. It's understandable that you're proud of yourselves. Congratulations. You've been certified educated people. You no doubt consider yourselves educated people. So, as with those who attain any new status, you need to learn the rights and responsibilities of being educated people. We'll start with the rights. This is the good stuff that you'll like. As educated individuals, you have the right to call out the answers aloud while watching Jeopardy. You have the right to do crossword puzzles in ink. You have the right to use 4-syllable words in everyday conversation. You have the right to understand and easily use all new electronic gadgets that the rest of us can't even figure out how to turn on. Best of all, you have the right to tell people you're deep in thought when you're really daydreaming. Remember, it isn't loafing if they can't prove it. But because you're educated, you also have certain responsibilities, and these are the rights you don't have. Number one, you can't text during commencement addresses. Just wanted to be sure you knew that. But here are the others that are more important. First, you have no right to think that because you're educated, you know everything. You don't. Not even close. No one does. You're going to spend the rest of your life learning things. From classes and books, from your job, from your family and friends, from strangers, from doing things, from observing the world. Maybe even from the internet. You should be looking forward to spending the rest of your life learning things. We constantly get new information and change our old ideas. That's how education works. That's how life works. If you think that because you're an educated person, you know everything, then you really aren't educated at all. In fact, as an educated person, you should not even wish that you knew it all. Because if you knew it all, there would be nothing left to learn. I can't think of anything sadder for an educated mind than having nothing to learn. The knowing is important, but it's the learning that's exciting. Obviously, if you don't know it all, you certainly have no right to act like you know it all. It's condescending, it's rude, it's wrong, and it's just plain stupid. Keep in mind, everyone you meet will know something that you don't. You must always be modest about your education, but you have no right to disparage its importance. You must always honor and defend education. You must never allow anyone to do the contrary. For thousands of years, people have fought for the right and the opportunity to be educated. Some have sacrificed, some have died for that opportunity. You have no right to disparage what they've fought for. You have no right to demand to be a leader just because you have an education. Leadership is earned by the quality of your thought and your action. As an educated person, you must earn your leadership that way. Demanding respect, especially if unearned, is the first step to coercion. Educated people try to convince others. On the other hand, you have no right to be blindly obedient to others. You must think for yourself. The person who follows someone else absolutely is not thinking. You must follow people based on the quality of their ideas and not on their image, authority, or power. You have no right to use your education dishonestly. History is full of tragedies that resulted from those who were educated but used that education for immoral reasons. Education is a gift entrusted to you. To use it to harm others is a betrayal of that trust. You have no right to be prejudiced against others. Prejudice is the result of ignorance, of a refusal to think, of self-importance, and lack of respect for others. In other words, it comes from everything that denotes the absence of education. You have no right to be closed-minded. You can think with a closed mind, but you can't think very well. An educated mind needs new knowledge and new ideas to remain fertile, to produce its own fertile thoughts. Nothing is as worthless as a sterile mind. You have no right to be certain that you're absolutely right. Our natural instinct is to want certainty. That's comfortable, but it belongs to the uneducated, not to you. Certainty is not only comfortable, it's seductive. There will be times when you feel certain that you know, that your thinking is absolutely right. Occasionally, you may even be right, but you must always remember the warning by Albert Camus. To feel absolutely right is the beginning of the end. For you as an educated person, there should never be an end to learning. You have no right to avoid judgments. You must avoid ignorant judgments and immoral judgments, but at some point you must take a stand. Otherwise, what good is your education? You should consider all things carefully. Try to understand both sides of an issue. But as an educated person, you should be a participant and not a spectator. To avoid making judgments wastes your education and betrays its purpose. And if you fail to act on your educated judgment, you're not being careful, you're being cowardly. You have no right to expect the search for truth, for what is right, to be easy. It isn't. And the better you get at using your education, the harder the search gets, because you understand more clearly how complicated the world is. The quest for truth is difficult, frustrating work. For an educated person, that quest should never cease. You have no right to be indifferent to society. You've been given a trust and you have accepted it. You must not waste it. You must care and act. Thinking and seeking knowledge are enjoyable, but that's not the only reason why we educate you to do them. Society is beset by many problems. They will not be solved by talking or wishing or promising. They will be solved when educated people think about solving them. We need as many such people as possible. There will never be enough. If you are an educated person, it's your duty to take part. If you're truly an educated person, you will demand to take part. You have no right to lack curiosity. You must desire to know, not just who and what, but why and how. If you're not curious, you're not using your education. There should always be something in this world to mystify you. You have no right to hoard what you know. You must pass it on. Our teachers taught us. We've taught you. You're next in the chain. To survive, to fulfill its purpose, education must be kept in perpetual motion. Just as you have been educated, you must help educate others. You have no right to think that the only purpose for which you received your education was to make money. Using your education in your job or career is an important part, but it's not the only part. An educated person must use those skills and knowledge for the betterment of society as a whole, to be a better person, to be a better citizen. If you're truly educated, you have learned to think and communicate and better understand your society and your world. I've put this list in the negative, saying what you have no right to do, for a reason. It's because you do have the ability to do these things. You also have the ability not to do them, but instead to do the right thing. As an educated person, you have the choice. That's what education is all about. It's common in commencement addresses like this for the speaker to make a supposedly funny joke as to whether this stuff will be on a test. And the students all snicker and the faculty all roll their eyes. Well, there will be a test. It's a student's dream, it seems. It's a take-home, open book, and you get to grade it yourself. But it lasts for the rest of your life. The fact that you're here this evening is an indication that you've worked hard and made the right choices. We hope that you will continue to do so. From what I know of you, you will. And that's an educated guess. Congratulations and good luck.